and welcome to this week's of Tasty Tuesday. So we are going to be making some protein pumpkin pudding. So last week on Tasty Tuesday, the video, we showed you how to make homemade canned puree pumpkin. It's super simple. All you have to do is find a pie pumpkin and then roast it. And then you kind of put the flesh into a blender, and then there you have it. So we're kind of using that and continuing that to give you a recipe for a healthy snack that you can have or breakfast. This packs a lot of protein because not only do you have protein powder in it, you also have cottage cheese. So that gives you a good amount of protein. So what I've done, it's 4 simple ingredients. 5-ish if you add some extra spices into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have a 1/2 cup of your canned pumpkin or your homemade pumpkin. And so the homemade pumpkin you'll find is going to be a little bit less orange. Most of the time they'll use a little bit of food dye to make it brighter orange for appeal. So this is the more natural one. This is the one that I baked the other week. And then you're going to have a cup of cottage cheese. And so what I'm doing is I have an emulsion blender contraption that has different attachments. And this one has a small, tiny food processor, so that's what I'm doing. But you could eat this without blending, especially if you have really small curd cottage cheese. So I put it in here, and it has a little blade down in here. It's really kind of convenient, and I love it. So I'm using a low-fat cottage cheese, but you could use any type of cottage cheese. They even have lactose-free cottage cheese nowadays as well. And I'm going to do a cup of that, and I'm going to put it and mix it with the 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree that I already have. I'm actually going to be lovely and measure today. So this is a great fall recipe because everybody's in the mood for pumpkin. But instead of spending all of your calories on like a, Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, you can get your pumpkin or have like pumpkin pie. You can have your pumpkin and not feel as guilty about it. So about a cup of cottage cheese, and then you're going to use your protein powder of choice. I am going to actually use a brand called Magnum's Quattro. That's what the Quattro is, the type of protein powder. And this one's a salted freaking caramel. That's the name of it. I really like this one for baking and such, and it mixes really well into when you're baking and stuff. So I'm going to use that today. But you can also use a normal brand of like vanilla flavor if you want to. I would say that I would stick to the vanillas or unflavored, but then the vanilla will give it a little bit of sweetness to it. I've used this brand for cooking, and it's really good as well. So it's kind of up to you, whatever you have at your house. Go ahead and use that one. So I'm going to use a salted freaking caramel, so it'll give it kind of a different dimension. And you can use anywhere from 3/4 of a scoop to a whole scoop of it. This whole scoop actually gives you 30 grams of protein, so it's a lot of protein. I think the protein content ends up to be around 50 grams for this whole thing. So I'm going to do about 3/4 of a scoop. And I'm going to put it in the blender. And then I'm going to use, so it's a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And then I also have like pumpkin pie spice that I'm going to add into it because that has like allspice, ginger, cloves. So I really like that kind of blend as well. And you can make your own pumpkin pie spice. Don't think you have to go out and get it at the store because there's so many different recipes online that have it available. So I'm going to do like 1/4 teaspoon of that. And then all I'm going to do from there is I'm going to put the top back on. And it will fit into the grooves. And lock it, and then blend it. So you can make it whatever consistency you prefer. So you can kind of watch it, and I kind of shake it around while I'm doing this. And there you have it. Super simple treat that you can have either for breakfast, you can have it for a snack, after workout, before workout, depending on how you deal with, depending on how far before working out and not. You don't have to blend it, like I said. You can just put it all together, if that works too. And this is a great way to be able to use that extra pumpkin that you make, because with one pumpkin you can make up to like 2 or 3, I think, pies. So you'll have quite a bit of pumpkin. So you can make some pumpkin pies, protein shakes. You can make this pudding, especially if you want something different or a little bit different consistency from your protein shakes. But that's super simple. So all it is, once again, I'll recap. It's about 1 cup of cottage cheese, depending on whatever you prefer. Low fat or regular fat, doesn't matter. It is a 1/2 cup, give or take, of pumpkin. It is 3/4 to a whole scoop of protein powder, and that can be, like I said, I had the salted freaking caramel, but it also can be just regular whey, vanilla whey protein. That works just as well. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and then I would say 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And that's it. Well, thank you for joining us today for Tasty Tuesday. Hope we'll see you next week. Bye.